The global defense landscape in early 2026 is undergoing a seismic shift that few military analysts could have predicted a decade ago. For more than half a century, the market for heavy armor and long-range artillery was dominated by a handful of established powers, primarily the United States, Russia, and Germany. However, the current geopolitical environment, characterized by urgent modernization needs and the lessons of high-intensity attrition warfare, has allowed a new titan to emerge from East Asia. South Korea, through its strategic K-Defense initiative, has transitioned from a localized security provider to a global arsenal, effectively disrupting the long-standing market dominance of traditional Russian and German military hardware. The rapid ascent of the K2 Black Panther main battle tank and the K9 Thunder self-propelled howitzer is not merely a commercial success story, but a fundamental restructuring of how sovereign nations approach defense procurement. The displacement of Russian armor in the global market is one of the most visible aspects of this transformation. Historically, Russian platforms like the T-90 main battle tank found success in various regions due to their low cost and perceived ruggedness. By 2026, however, the reputation of Russian military exports has faced significant challenges. International sanctions have severely hampered the Russian defense industry's ability to access the high-end semiconductors and advanced optics required for modern fire control systems. Furthermore, the operational performance of these platforms in recent conflicts has prompted many nations to seek alternatives that offer superior crew survivability and situational awareness. South Korea's Hyundai Rotem has capitalized on this opening by offering the K2 Black Panther, a platform that combines Western standard technology with a manufacturing speed that remains unmatched in the industry. The competition between South Korean and German armor presents an even more complex industrial narrative. For decades, the German-made Leopard 2 was considered the gold standard for NATO-compatible tanks. Yet, by the middle of the 2020s, the German defense industrial base faced a crisis of capacity. The German model, which emphasizes artisanal engineering and highly specialized production, has proven unable to meet the sudden, massive demand for large-scale fleet renewals. While Germany may take years to deliver a handful of Leopard 2A8 units, South Korea has demonstrated the ability to deliver dozens of K2 tanks within mere months of a contract signing. This fast-track capability was the decisive factor for Poland, which in early 2026 continues to receive deliveries from its multi-billion-dollar framework agreement. The ability to provide an immediate ready-to-fight capability has turned the K2 into the primary rival for the Leopard 2 across Eastern Europe and the Middle East. Technological parity is another pillar of this market disruption. The K2 Black Panther is equipped with a world-class 55 caliber, 120mm smoothbore gun, and an advanced autoloader that allows for a reduced 3-man crew. Its unique hydropneumatic suspension system, which allows the tank to kneel or lean to increase the gun's depression and elevation, makes it exceptionally effective in the mountainous terrain found in South Korea and similar topographies in Europe. These technical merits, combined with a price point that is often more competitive than German or American alternatives, have made the K2 a formidable challenger. In early 2026, the arrival of the first K2PL units, the localized variant for Poland, marks the beginning of a new era where South Korean technology is being manufactured directly on European soil, bypassing the traditional logistics bottlenecks of the German supply chain. Parallel to the success of the K2 is the total market dominance of the K9 Thunder self-propelled howitzer. As of 2026, The K9 holds an estimated market share exceeding 52% of the global tracked self-propelled artillery market. Its success is rooted in its reliability, high rate of fire, and seamless integration with the K-10 ammunition resupply vehicle. The K-10's automated ammunition transfer system allows the K-9 to maintain high-intensity barrages without exposing the crew to enemy fire during resupply, a feature that many Russian and European systems lack. The K-9's shoot-and-scoot capability, allowing it to fire 3 rounds in 15 seconds and relocate before enemy counter-battery fire can zero in, has become the industry benchmark for modern artillery operations. The economic scale of this shift is reflected in the financial performance of South Korea's defense giants. Hanwha Aerospace and Hyundai Rotem reported record-breaking revenues in 2025, with total defense exports reaching approximately $28.5 billion United States dollars. By early 2026, the backlog of orders for K-defense platforms has reached an estimated value of more than 100 trillion South Korean won. These figures are not just a result of the platform's quality, but also of South Korea's aggressive and flexible approach to technology transfer. Unlike German or American suppliers, who often place strict end-user restrictions and are hesitant to share core intellectual property, South Korean firms have utilized a co-development model. This approach empowers purchasing nations to build their own industrial capacity, as seen in the localized production agreements with Poland, Romania, and Australia. The decline of German market share is particularly evident in the Eastern European corridor. Nations that were once loyal customers of the German defense industry are increasingly wary of Berlin's slow bureaucratic processes and political conditions on weapon usage. In contrast, South Korea provides a no-strings-attached commercial relationship focused on rapid industrialization and military readiness. This pragmatic approach has resonated with nations that feel an existential need to modernize their forces immediately. The 2026 defense budgets of several NATO members now include significant allocations for South Korean hardware, a trend that was unthinkable just 10 years ago. The impact on the Russian defense sector is equally profound. Traditional customers in Southeast Asia and the Middle East, who once relied on Russia for affordable heavy weaponry, are now looking towards Seoul. The K9 Thunder has already seen significant interest and deployment in regions where Russian Mestet and American M109 systems used to compete. The South Korean industry offers a unique middle path, providing equipment that is more technologically advanced than Russian hardware, but more affordable and easier to maintain than the top-tier American or German systems. Looking toward the remainder of 2026 and beyond, the expansion of the South Korean defense industry shows no signs of slowing. The ongoing development of the K9 wheeled variant and the Redback infantry fighting vehicle suggests that South Korea intends to dominate every segment of the land-based defense market. While Russia struggles to rebuild its industrial reputation, and Germany attempts to revitalize its production lines, South Korea has already secured its position as the arsenal of democracy in the Pacific and beyond. The K2 Black Panther and K9 Thunder have proven that in the modern era, the combination of technological excellence, industrial speed, and a flexible diplomatic approach is more powerful than decades of historical prestige. The era of Russian and German duopoly in heavy weaponry has effectively come to an end, replaced by a new reality where the most important defense conversations in the world now often begin in Seoul.